by air.
Yeah.
Those cameras, I forget what they're called. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Someone took a picture of those and it had a flash, and my hair was buzzed, right? And it just looked like right on the top, like right here. It looked like there was just like a fucking like bright spot of white, and then my hair around here is all like brown still. And it was just so, and I looked really fucked up too. It was just all bad. And I was like, they're like hanging on a girl who's like 2 feet taller than me.
Look like you've been binge drinking for days.
Mm. I still drink way more than I should, but in high school, dude, I was like, they used to give me shit because I'd go over to a friend's house and we'd party and I'd get fucked up and like puke that night and then wake up at like 6 in the morning and like 3 hours later everyone would be waking up and I'd be drinking a beer and smoking in the living room.
Bro, that sounds like me. I would be up. I wouldn't get crazy, but like I would just be up and other people would be waking up. I'd be like, hey, what's up? I forgot to fall asleep. Your body just decided to crash out on you. Mine didn't.
Yeah, dude, I've definitely like, I think one of the craziest things for me, and like prom wasn't a big night for me in high school, but like on prom night I was being drug tested throughout like 2.5 years of my high school because I got caught mailing myself some weed at boarding school. Which I had gotten
That's
away
tight.
with. I got away with it multiple times. It was only like 4 grams tops, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you're in
it wasn't a
boarding
lot.
school, man. You're not like moving weight.
But like I had friends from boarding school come over to my house for break one time, and then like friends that I grew up with came over and like we like went out and were drinking in our neighborhood, and we were still like 16, 17 years old, right? And my mom, I guess, like searched my room while we were out that night drinking, like just in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she didn't find the weed, but she found like 2 or 3 grams of hash and freaked out. Sent all my friends home. The guys who were staying with me from boarding school, like they were so embarrassed. Like she was so mad. Like it was embarrassing as fuck. I was still packing a box to like send myself like a care gift. You know, I sent like food and some clothes and whatnot, just stuff I didn't want to take.
Setting yourself up, yeah.
Yeah, and then I put weed in there. My mom, who like at the time was still like her Alzheimer's was developing, so this is like crazy to me. Had the fucking thought that wasn't everything. Opens up the box before she sends it and finds it. Get this. I had SpongeBob house shoes that I had bought.
Yeah.
And cut the inside out of and stuffed the weed in there.
Shit.
And she fucking found it.
Yes, she did. That's the first place she searched.
Oh, dude, she called the school, and for the next 2 years, I was on drug testing for every month they would drug test me. But that just made me get into other drugs and drinking. And that night of prom, everyone was smoking, and I couldn't. So I just started mixing Red Bull with any alcohol I could find. And I don't think I slept till like...
No, you didn't. No, you
didn't. The next, like we went, like, prom ended at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, and we went to this house party like 3 towns away from where our boarding school was, because one of the rich people rented a house or something, you know, and we're like, oh, fuck it, yeah, let's go, party bus. That's when I started drinking. As soon as we got into the party bus, boom, fucking Red Bulls and shit. I don't think I went to sleep until like the next day at like 6 or 7 o'clock p.m.
Shit.
I have stayed awake longer than that.
Dude, yeah, I've been up for like how long was it? I think it was 62 hours. You don't even know what life is at that point. But
dude, you start seeing things.
Did you go to boarding school in California or?
Yeah, it was I don't know if you know like San Ynez. It's like near Santa Barbara's.
Okay, sort of, just a little bit.
It's like so where I live now and where I grew up is like Napa Valley and Sonoma County, which is like famous wine country of the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And where I went to boarding school is like the lesser version of that. It's also a wine, which was really weird to me because like I went from wine country to wine country, so it was like bougie. It was still like rich people,
Bougie
rich
wine.
people. Yeah, it was just like I don't know. Like I don't know, I've never been like a fucking like person who struggled so bad, but I've never been like so rich that I could drop whatever, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so like it was just always weird for me going from like one place where I was surrounded by people who are far richer than I was to one more place where everyone was also far
Far
richer than
richer.
I was. And it was great. Like I have family who is very wealthy, and that's the whole reason I was able to do any of that.
Hmm.
You know, like they took care of me. So I'm a very, 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 very lucky kid, and that's something I want to be known for sure.
I kind of
Like I,
had
as much as I've struggled in my life, I've always had so much support that I could never ever complain.
I
But
kind of had
that's
like the same experience sort of. Um, we had when my mom passed away, I had an opportunity to go to like this private school type. Uh, I don't know. It was kind of like a private school. Ted Turner went there, dude. Ted Turner.
what.
Yeah, it's called Macaulay, and it's
Okay.
super. I don't even want to talk. I didn't go to the school. I didn't. It wasn't for me, but I had an opportunity to go because
Yeah.
of richer relatives. But what the I don't, this is I don't even know why I thought of this. The super weird thing about it was when you went into Macaulay, it was a very prestigious place. You had people from all over the world that were there studying all kinds of things, and you had all types of cultures, all types of people there. You went
Yeah.
outside of the wall, poverty, dude. Just poor, mostly poor African Americans. Just walking the streets, you'd see kids on bikes with backpacks on. You knew what they were doing. You knew where they were going.
Yeah.
Like it was the transition and the contrast between those two things was just so crazy. So and just like you said, there was no contrast between you coming from one wine country going to the next. It was just rich people, rich people.
Yeah.
Were they embedded around like a lot of places
Well,
here? Like it's very like I don't know if this is everywhere, but a lot of places go poverty stricken, rich people. Like it's just like two streets, and it's
yeah.
insane.
Well, I would say like, especially in like I described the two places that I've been, like San Ynez and Sonoma and Napa Valley. It is like that.
Hmm.
Like there's the rich people, and then there's the people that are working like three jobs
Yeah, yeah,
to be able to afford to live there. But it because it's such a nice place, it doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? Like all of the homes are fairly nice. Anything that isn't, like nice is pushed off. Not necessarily in like a ghetto,
yeah,
although
yeah.
like where I live in my town, and I live in Calistoga, which is like a super super wealthy town, like super wealthy. And where I live, they call it Little Mexico because literally like all of the immigrants who may or may not have documentation live on this side of town.
Okay.
Because I mean, like where I live, my building in particular, like my family owns it. My cousin owns this and like three or four other buildings in the area, and 90% of the people who live in them work for their like not him, but for his father at the spa Indian Springs, where I also work. So it's like
Okay.
it's weird. Like Calistoga is definitely an interesting space because a lot of the workers work at that spa, and a lot of them are getting like cheap housing because of that, and that's great when you look at it that way.
Hmm.
But then, like, if they ever got an opportunity to get a job somewhere else, they immediately lose that
Oh yeah, they
housing.
completely lose the housing. It's a
Yeah,
huge
like that's like
benefit of
what.
staying there.
Yeah, like you can be like, oh yeah, like it's my uncle who does this. Like, oh yeah, that's so great. Like he's offering like cheap housing to his, employees, which he is, and that's great. That's awesome. but it's also like if you ever want to get a new job, you have to plan on finding a new place to live too,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of fucked. But around here, it's like, I don't know. But going back to that, yes, there's a divide. You can definitely see, like, if you walked around where I live, you would notice, like, there's trash everywhere. People just leaving shit. There's fucking washing machines.
Yeah.
Alleyway.
Potholes, stuff like that. Roads never get fixed.
Like, stolen bikes, like, what do they call him? The paleta guy comes around all the time. I think that's the right name. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I'm fucking. I would say the ice cream guy, but it's not just ice cream. He has like the little corn on the cob with the chile and.
Oh yeah, dude. The season.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, dude, that shit's fire.
I'm pretty sure it's the paleta guy, but I'm probably wrong. But he's always around here, and he doesn't go on the other side of town because it's all white people over there. And that's the fucked thing about California, is it's like you can pretty clearly see it for the most part. It's like the rich white people and then the immigrants.
Yeah.
But all the immigrants are the ones who are working hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm gonna talk myself into a bad position here.
No, you're good, man. You're open to talk about anything. I thought it was very cool that you moved from essentially one place that was rich, prosperous wine country, and then you moved to a place that was essentially different, but it was still rich, prosperous wine country.
Yeah, it was like
no real difference. Here, you couldn't do that. That's like hitting the bullseye twice to go to like a rich place. That's basically the same twice. Here, you would like fuck up. You'd be in a nice place. You move to like another place. It would not be the same. Even though you'd have like the same people mostly, it wouldn't be essentially like. I don't know. It's just cool to me.
Well, California's like that. It's like, I don't know. I guess you can go to, just like anywhere, you can go to any town and any, city or whatever, any county, and find something unique. But at the same time, it's like, the way I've seen it at least, it's like, each county is very different. So you've got like the wealthy counties, and then you've got the poor counties.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually like not coast to coast, but like north and south. So like Southern California,
yeah,
super fucking wealthy. But if you go just outside of like, the like immediate LA area, you can find a lot of places that aren't that way. And it's the same here, like really wealthy for the most part. But then you can go to other places just outside, like not that far, and it's fucking crazy. Like north of us is Lake County, and there have been fucking beheadings out there. It's fucking lawless.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's insane. It's like the Midwest, like in the time of like cowboys. It's fucking crazy. But then you've got the city, I don't know. California's weird, but so is everywhere. I just feel like I've been lucky enough to go to places that aren't dangerous and aren't. I don't know.
You've been to the good parts of Cali, but
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I've got friends in Oakland. I've got friends in Fresno. I mean,
I'd love to visit. I'd love to visit both those places.
Huh?
I'd love to visit both those places.
Fresno and Oakland?
Dude, yeah. I mean, just different parts of California in general. I mean, there's a lot of places there that I've heard a whole lot about. Yeah?
I mean, like, the only thing in Fresno is Goon and Stezzy.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason to go to Fresno.
That's the only reason to go to Fresno. Otherwise, it's like kind of a desert, and it's just like very high homeless rate, lots of drug addicts and like problems, and it's very apparent.
A lot of trailers.
No, it's just like a lot of like shitty.
There's a lot of trailers here all the time, everywhere, and meth. That's what I was trying to get at.
I mean, we have like.
Didn't know how Fresno stacked up.
We have like mobile homes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not trailers, but they're like homes that you could move with a truck, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're like stationary, but they're mobile. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I got you, man.
Like fucking Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, just Trailer Park Boys.
But I don't know. I mean, like you come in here and you'd be like, "Oh, this is such a nice, quaint town. Look at all these beautiful old homes." You wouldn't think like, "Oh, like they like here." I think the worst thing that happened is one summer my friend and I were walking around and we got an alert on our phone and then heard sirens and someone had robbed a bank or an armored car a county away, fucking drove all the way over here and held themselves out in an abandoned bank here. And so they just told everyone to stay off the streets because they were armed.
Streets.
That's like the worst thing.
I mean, with all that crazy stuff, though, everybody's got time to smoke weed, though, right?
What we were doing, we went to my mom's house because she was gone for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I just we walked over, because I live in the same town as my mom. I just walked over to her house and we just smoked weed in her living room. Thank God she's got a great air conditioning system.